Well, you can expect from United Way the next 100 years. What can we expect? What are the dreams and aspirations driving the child well-being movement's work? And how can I be a part of leaving McLennan County better than I found it for the next generation? Well, I've got two very special people who would like to answer those burning questions. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our fearless leader, CEO of United Way of Waco-McLennan County, Wendy Ellis, joined by the very reason she wakes up each day to do this work, her son, everyone's favorite Ellis, Joe.
Hey Mom, did you hear what he said?
What, you mean that part about me being a fearless leader?
No, I didn't hear that. The other part.
What other part?
The part where he said, I'm everyone's favorite.
Yeah. Well, don't let that go to your head because it's kind of hard to be everyone's favorite when they don't even know you yet. So maybe we should just start by introducing yourself.
Hey guys, it's me, Joe, and I'm in 5th grade. As you probably guessed, she's my mom. But my real claim to fame is that I'm a young entrepreneur and business owner. Joe's Real Fresh Food. Follow me on Facebook.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought we agreed no commercials today.
That wasn't a commercial. It was a plug. Very different.
No, I don't think there's any difference in a plug and a commercial.
Anyways, aren't we here to talk about what you do, not what I do? I think we should just get things moving along. Follow me on Facebook. So Mom, we talked a lot about how United Way helped bring us here today. But you know I'm all about dreaming big. So what's next?
Well, so that's one of my favorite parts about my job is because United Way is designed to be able to be whatever the community needs us to be. So we took some time, we listened, and we talked to local residents, and we asked, what do you need to improve the quality of life and your experience here in McLennan County? They came up with some really important things, but one of the most important things they talked about was our need for more early learning centers and child care centers. What we found out was that for every child that gets into a learning center, there's a child left on the wait list. And for every child on the wait list, that means there may be a parent who has to leave the workforce or not re-enter after the birth of a child because they stay home with them without child care. And then that means that a family has half the income that they used to have to support themselves and provide everything that they need. But that also means that it hurts our businesses because there's not as many people available in the workforce, and it makes it harder for our businesses to grow.
So does that mean when I need to hire people for my business, I may not be able to find anybody?
It's possible, yes.
Well, that's unacceptable. So how do we fix this crisis?
Well, from talking to local residents, we learned that while we need early learning and child care centers, we also need them to provide some special services. They need to have extended hours, nights and weekends. They need to be able to offer drop-in care. And we need a lot more seats for infants, children with special needs, and those in foster care. So the group working on the McLennan County Child Wellbeing Action Plan came up with some recommendations that could be used to help guide decision-making as new centers are built or as other centers are expanded. So let's hear from some of our friends about how they're putting those recommendations to work.
We work with children between the ages of 0 and 3 for developmental delays, and we've had at least a 40-year relationship with United Way. One of the things that I wanted to speak to was the fact that we've been involved with this child being movement, and part of the needs identified within that movement are the accessibility for families to quality childcare, quality and affordable childcare. One of the challenges was for us to approach our leadership with the possibility of starting a childcare center. And so it was one of our goals to create a therapeutic childcare center that could not only be a benefit to our agency, but also be an inclusive opportunity for children with special needs around the community.
Heart of Texas Goodwill has been involved with United Way for years. It's been amazing to just get to know other people who have the same passion of bringing affordable, good quality childcare to our community. We see that that's a really big need in the community, and for us, with our mission of helping to put people to work and we can't just put people to work, we also have to help them maintain that work. And so they can't maintain that work if they don't have childcare. And so For us, it just really kind of puts everything together for our mission. Kind of putting all of the pieces together and being a part of this group and having the data that helps us to kind of make that full circle and make it go from an idea of, we know anecdotally that it's important to have this child development center because we see the connection to family and jobs and success, but having the data to back that has been really helpful.
We were planning to forge ahead and build an elementary school that would use trauma-informed practice for the children who just aren't ready for public school. But I went to the community breakfast and I heard the findings from Are the Children Well? And United Way had put together a study that convinced me that morning, in the moment, that we had land right outside our building where we could more than double our own enrollment, and that parents were suffering under having so little childcare available. So in our case statement, we actually used that study and those statistics. 42% of McLennan County's parents report their children are on a childcare waiting list. We didn't need to be told that because we have a wait list of 75 every day. It changes, people come and people go, but those 75 deserve quality childcare. Thank you, United Way, for giving us this data.
I think that sometimes people don't realize that a lot of small dollars come together and make big dollars, and that really makes an impact in our community. And so if somebody was looking to get started with a campaign or just kind of asking why, it's the little bit can go a really long way, and a little bit together can be a lot of it.
You know, Waco has so many nonprofit organizations. We're all raising money every day. We tend to be raising it from the same people, which is a problem, really, for them and for us. So United Way stands in that great gap, pulling in people who might not ever know to give to a nonprofit. And the money they raise that goes out into our community is something we can't do without United Way. And that's my hope for the next 100 years. More United Way participation all over town.
So it sounds like that plan is already being put into action.
Parts of the plan are already being put into action for sure, but there's over 111 strategies that need to be accomplished in that plan, and there's a greater need for childcare than those 3 organizations can provide on their own. So the work of this plan is going to keep us busy for quite a while.
So other than the encouraging of more childcare creation centers, how does this plan help kids?
Well, you know how we always call our family a team?
Yes, how could I forget it?
Yeah. Well, the plan recognizes that families are teams too. And so there's a lot of strategies in the plan that help all members of the family, because we know that children can't thrive if the adults taking care of them aren't healthy and happy too. So a lot of the work in the plan talks about affordable housing and access to health care and greater employment opportunities, all the things that adults kind of tend to worry about quite a bit.
Sounds like a lot of work for one group to have to do.
Well, it's a good thing there's more than one group working on it. This is a community plan. You know, when you have something to do, it's always more fun to do when you have friends helping out, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what United Way does. We bring people together.
You mean you unite them? See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. May I continue?
By all means.
Okay, so as I was saying, one of the things that United Way does is that we raise money to help fund programs in our community that are having a really positive impact. But beyond that, we unite people behind a common purpose. We go out, we look for all different kinds of people and organizations, and we bring them together to share their ideas and share their opinions and come up with the best solutions for our community. And what we found while we were working on the action plan was that a lot of the things that people asked for, that they needed or that they wanted, were already available in our community, and they just didn't know about it. So we have 35 plus community organizations working to improve communication and make sure that the information gets to the people who need it most. In addition to doing that, they're also looking at some of the new solutions that were recommended, and they're starting to put those into action too. The child well-being movement has the power to change how we work together and solve problems for generations to come in our community.
So what you're saying is, if you do your job right, then I should have plenty of people who want to work with me, and I can hire them?
Well, no pressure or anything, but yes, that's the idea. If you do a good job running your business and you treat people the way you want to be treated, the goal is that you have the best place in Texas to build your business and raise your family. So, now that you've heard about everything we've been working on today, from a kid's perspective, what do you think people need to know?
I made some new friends earlier today, and I would like them to come up on stage and help me answer that one. Come on up, guys. But I keep coming back to one question that adults ask kids all the time. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I wanted to be a lawyer when I grew up, but then my attorney father said that absolutely not.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Kind of corny. I'm already doing it when we're on coach.
Kids, or adults for now, always have great answers to that question. But sometimes adults forget what their dream was. So to all the adults in the room here today, since you're here, you can help us live out our dreams. And if you do your part with United Way, I can promise you that we'll do ours for the generations to come.
I'm going to remind you that you made that promise.
You always do.